Guitar Heroes. Hey, this is Mel from howtoplayguitarswithans.com. And today we are on day number 7 from a 365-day challenge that I've started for myself for the year 2026 of going through this book, the Guitar Aerobics book, which is a 52-week program with one exercise per day that you are mastering to go from intermediate to advanced as a guitar player. Now, I will say that today's lesson is actually probably the easiest out of all of the exercises in the book, and even in this week number 1. And I'm going to put this particular lesson, as I did with one of the other previous ones that I'll link up here, in my beginner classroom on School, SKOOL.com/unleash your inner guitar hero. I have a free beginner course there that if you sign up, you can get access to. And I'll put this lesson in there, among other things. And in that course, by the way, I start people with 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, and eventually 4 finger chords. And then also I have a way to take people through bar chords in a similar fashion. And you'll find access to that, like I said, in my school classroom. So in order to be able to do that, you want to be able to play this 4-finger G chord. Okay, so that's what this particular exercise is based on, because you're going to go from this G to the D, which most people can get that relatively easy with some practice. The hard switch for a lot of people is going from the D to the C, because the fingering is very different. So the other thing that I often do, and you actually find this in my beginner guitar course too, is I often will add that E minor in there that makes things a little easier to switch. And sometimes, in fact, I'll do G, E minor, C to D7, which makes it even easier, especially if we use the 3-finger G. But today we're using this 4-finger G to the D, and instead of going to a regular C, I want to see if we can go to that C add 9. I talked about this in the lesson a few days ago, where I talked about picking the arpeggios from these exact same chords. And so what you're going to do is you're just going to go from the G to the D, with that, leaving that 3rd finger on there, and then you're going to still leave that 3rd finger on there, and you're going to go to that C add 9, which really what that is that's taking this G chord, taking these first 2 fingers here and lowering them down to these strings here on the A string and the D string respectively. And that's going to allow you to be able to switch from G to C really easy. In this case, C add 9. And this is used in so many songs. From Sweet Home Alabama to Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, and even Wonderwall by Oasis, so many more. Every Rose Has Its Thorns by Poison, and I could probably come up with a list of hundreds of songs with just these chords that we're using today. But anyway, regardless of that, what I want you to practice for this lesson, if you're a beginner, this is perfect for you, is I want you to practice just switching these chords without stopping and with a metronome. Okay? And you'll get hundreds of songs just from these 3 chords. And like I said, if that regular C is hard for you, use this C add 9. Now, if you get to the point where that C add 9 is pretty easy, you can switch that pretty easily, then try to put that C in there. Another way I like to do this is when I go from the C, when I go back to the G, I use a 3-finger G of a 2, 3, 4 fingering. Again, this is in my beginner guitar course. And like I said, you can also go from a G to an E minor to a C to a D7. There's lots of songs that do that, like Last Kiss by Pearl Jam, for example. So I want you to just practice this until you can get these chords down. There's a metronome suggestion of 40 beats a minute to 120 beats a minute. Certainly you can start slower and you could go faster, but start as slow as you need to and only go as fast as you can play cleanly without making mistakes. So these are really simple chords. Again, once you master these, you can master hundreds of songs. And I hope you enjoy these. In the meantime, check out my group on School, Unleash Your Inner Guitar Hero, my group on Facebook, Unleash Your Inner Guitar Hero, and my website, howtoplayguitarswithans.com. And let's keep this challenge going. Let's see how far we can go with this thing. All right, so I'm challenging myself, but also challenging you to do this with me. So hope to see you there. In the meantime, keep strumming. Bye for now.